Right there. Welcome back to Mid-10, y'all. It's another glorious day in the combine. We are about to start whacking some soybeans. Headed back down to the beans right now. So far this morning, I have run around a bunch, filled up my tank on the truck to fill up the combine. I had to go get a new castle nut to put on my knife drive bar over there. The castle nut on it had well, it had wore down enough it wouldn't stay tight, so I had to put a new castle nut on it this morning. While I was out, I fed cows, and I also tried to order a new nose cone, because if you can see, it's gone. It's over here. See, nose cone, no nose cone. I tried to order one of them. Nobody's got any. Yeah, I found a place that makes aftermarket ones, and they told me, I guess I was down here, I guess I was way down here when I finished up, but I found an aftermarket company that makes them for about $1,000. You can get a conversion kit that it eliminates these old big metal nose cones, and it goes to a poly nose cone to where you can go from a long nose cone to a short nose cone. So I was going to order it this morning, and if they would have had stuff in stock, it would have been here by Wednesday. Well, like everything else, they had all the right-hand sides, which is this side over here, but the left-hand side, which is this side, which I trashed yesterday, they don't have. And so I told the guy, I was like, hey man, do y'all have just a short kit? Because you could order the long short combo kit, or you could order just a short kit. He's like, let me check, and he's like, no, we're out of them too. I was like, well, dang. And he's like, well, let me call the shop and see what the deal is. So he called their shop and was like, hey, what's the deal? Why ain't we got these? And they told him that why they ain't got them is because they're out of components to finish assembling the left-hand side. So things, you know. I thought I could get away without having to rebuild my old one. Looks like I might be rebuilding it. Mondays start like that sometime. It is a Monday. Good news is we're closer to being done with these full season beans. As you can see, we got all the hilltop up here cut. We got straight right here, all the way to right about there, and back down this side. So we don't have maybe about 10 acres of full season beans left. Once we get these cut, we're gonna jump right over there into those wheat beans. And I'm still very, very interested in seeing how my wheat beans turn out. They're plenty super thick. I mean, they're thick as hair on a dog. That's how thick they are. Why are they that thick? That's because they were the last beans I planted, and I had extra beans left over that were open and I couldn't take back, so I put them in the ground. That's why they're so thick. So if y'all can see where my finger is pointing at, that is us, or that's Andy. Andy's with us today. He's filling up the semi, and my father-in-law Jerry's with us too. Dad couldn't be here. He had to do stuff for work. But as you can see across the hayfield, we have the semi, dump truck, and we're still just running one dump truck. My other dump truck, my dump truck hasn't got fixed yet. My mechanic buddy I took it to, I told him I wasn't in no big hurry for it. And he asked me, he's like, well, aren't y'all still harvesting beans? I said, we sure are, man, but beans, you know, you just don't cut the amount of grain in a day with soybeans that you do with corn. So if he had to put that truck on the back burner to work other people's stuff, that was fine. And it's fine with me. I just need it to be fixed. That way we can use it this winter. I'm hoping I can use it to haul logs on instead of using a trailer, because I messed the trailer floor up last year. So it'll get fixed sooner or later. And like I said, I'm not in a big hurry for it. We still got 2 trucks, and that's more than one. I'm working this edge off again down here by the old W ditch. It's still wet. You can see where I tracked it up. So what I'm trying to do is get me more turnaround room. I've been running that over there at an angle. I'm just cutting straight off this ditch right now, trying to get to where we're further this way. That would be west of the ditch. A little bit further west of it. That way we're not down in the wet stuff. This field is still super tacky. I mean, every pass I make with a combine, I'm putting tracks in it. I'm not putting ruts, but I put some ruts right over here. I'll show you in a second. I'm not putting ruts everywhere, but I'm putting cleat marks everywhere from the tire tread. And this spot right here, it's still damp. You can see all the ruts through there. You see there's still water right here. Water over there. See those tires getting muddy? There's some water. So I'm just trying to work off the ditch some. Work away from the ditch, that way if we have to get the grain cart down here, we won't get into the water. Well, not water, but the mud. We got a good bit of forward progress. We don't have a whole lot left. Probably got, I think when we started this morning, we had about 10 acres. I'd say we're probably down to 5 by now. So we're getting it. It's been like everything this year. It's been a slow go. You know, but wet years are kind of like that. They're just kind of slow. You're at the mercy of Mother Nature. And yeah, my nose cone's still gone. I have called around some other places, some salvage yards. I have found some in some salvage yards. They can ship it here, but it's going to be shipped. You have to ship truck freight, and it won't get here till like next week. And I'm hoping that we're almost done with beans by then. So what I'm thinking, I'm going to have to take a little bit of time one morning and fix mine and put it back on here. I mean, it's working without it. For the most part, it's working. It does get a little bit of buildup right on the edge, and it doesn't want to feed quite right, but it's working pretty good. Considering I don't have it on there, it's working. It's working a lot better than I thought it would. All right, folks, that wraps up the full season beans for us on this farm. Got them all cut. That's the last dump of them right there. What we're about to do is run across the field, jump into some wheat beans. We got all the beans cut out of the muddy spot down there. All the full season beans are done right here. And they were, if you don't remember, I had they split planted or checker rowed. So I planted like a checkerboard. They planted them north and south. I had about 75,000 down. Then I come back at a slight angle, kind of from the southeast to the northeast, and planted another about 75,000 beans. So it should have gave me around a final stand of about 150,000 on the full season beans. But now we're trucking across the field. wheat beans right over there. So on these, I won't have to cut all 4 sides of the field, since 2 sides of the field are in this full season bean field. So I just have to go up the ditch and then back across the back. I'll do that 4 times, give me plenty of turnaround room, and then we'll get to really cutting them things. And you can see my residue, it's all at an angle. But I planted this direction, and then like this. So I run that angle planting, I run that angle cutting. That's what I was doing, I was cutting. I run the angle cutting, that way my cutter bar, well, my whole cutter bar will be cutting. That way all the knives are working at the same time. I could run with the rows. This 22-foot head grows about 9 rows at a time. The downfall of that is I'll end up wearing out about 2 knives in each section. So it's 22 foot. I'd be basically using two knives on each row, so 9 rows. So I'd wear out about 18 blades, maybe 20 blades. I'd wear them slap out, and the rest of the blades would still be good because they're not cutting anything. That's why I run the angle. Plus, I'll run the angle when I come back next year and plant corn. So I'll probably plant the corn this direction again, and so it won't be running down one residue line. You know, that way I don't have one row just planted right in the middle of the residue. I can kind of spread it out some. They'll be going across it. So I'm thinking from what I've done, it does a little bit better. Is it for 100%? I don't know. It works for me. That's the key to farming stuff. Figure out what works for you, and you do that. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Figure out what works for you and your operation, and you do that stuff. And once we get into these wheat beans, they were initially planted on 30-inch rows at 200,000. That's what I planted them at. I got done, and I realized that I had a good bit of seed left. I probably had about 18 bushels of seed left. So what I did is I cut my rate down to about 20,000. And I started in the back and I started checkerboarding them. So the front half of this field's right at 200,000. And the back half of this field is somewhere around 220, 230. I've got out because I noticed a knife, it was a guard that was loose. And right there. All right, all it is, the bolts are backed off, so we'll tighten them up real quick. This one right here is loose too. See her wobble? Just hook your bolts down here. Hook on your bolts and tighten her back up. We've run over 200 acres through the head now, so things are gonna back up and loosen up. It's no big deal. It's aggravating, but it's no big deal. So I noticed that one guard was loose, so I got out, tightened it. If you saw me drag my ratchet down here like that, that's how I was checking to see if anything else is loose. I'm tapping these blades to see if they're loose. All right, we'll get everything tightened back up. So we're gonna get back at her. Now running without my nose cone over here, you can see nose cone's gone. It's working. It ain't working great, but it's working. And so how I noticed that, I'll show y'all. Get this thing fired back off. So while the head's running, you can see the knife bar. I don't know if y'all can see it, but you can see the knife bar going back and forth. And when I pulled out the beans that last time, I noticed that one guard was shaking. It was shaking a little bit more than normal, so I knew that the guard was loose. So I got out and fixed it. I got out and checked it, and sure enough, it was loose. So tightened it up. Had 3 loose guards. Got 1 loose blade. Got the blade tightened up. Got a nut, did have to dig one nut out of the toolbox in the back. But we're rolling again though. So we're in the area I had to double plant the wheat beans. So you can see right here where I got rows going this way, and I got rows going this way. Like I was telling y'all earlier, I did that because I had beans left over that I didn't want to, I had them treated, and I didn't think they would keep until next year. I didn't really have a place to store them at, so I come right back and put them in the ground. And right now they are, man, they're making some beans. Not quite sure how many bushels they're making per acre, but it is filling up the combine fast. So once I get done, I'll do my figures, and I might be upping all my wheat bean rates to about 220. Who knows? You know, might do it, might not. So got my help with me now. Big Jack's with me for a little bit. We're sitting here in the dark waiting on the grain cart to come back, right, bud? Yeah? Yes, no, maybe? No, you'll figure it out. So we are about done for the night. Just waiting to for Andy to fill the dump truck up for us. That way he can bring the grain cart back, catch this load, we'll go cut 2 more loads and call it a night. He's being silly over there. Yeah, you being silly, ain't you? Tussle your hair. No, your hair's a mess. There, looks good now, right? But we're gonna hang out here a little while, wait for the grain cart to come back. So we figured this is a good point to let y'all go for the day. Hi, Jack. Yeah, you gonna take a little nap there? We're gonna get off of here and listen to a little bit of radio. Maybe let old Jack over here watch a few videos on the YouTube. Speaking of YouTube, you know, if y'all are enjoying what you're seeing, feel free to like it, subscribe, drop a comment if you feel like it. And, like always, if the good Lord is willing, we'll catch you on the flip side. Until the next.